First and foremost, I'd like to start by congratulating our men for winning the Big Ten tournament and obviously just being selected for the NCAAs. We're always happy when both programs are doing well, and I'd like to congratulate the players and Coach John Trask for their success this season and wish them luck ongoing with their games and hope both programs move forward in the NCAAs. Excited to get our first NCAA win against Toledo on Friday. Excited that we got good performances out of different players. Felt it was a really good team effort, but also good to see that Grace Douglas and Jordan McNeese and Allie Winfield got their first goals of their career. So it's always a good place to start in the NCAAs doing that. So very excited, especially since Jordan McNeese and Grace Douglas are homegrown Madison players, and we're always excited when they contribute to our program in that way. Moving forward to South Carolina, we are excited for another new challenge. South Carolina is pretty high on the RPI and have had great results this season and is a very good team. We're looking for another good challenge from this young team. Every time we get out on the field, whether it's against Toledo or South Carolina, this young group learns more and more every single time about themselves, and I'm excited to see what we do on Friday.
Questions? On the left here, Tom.
Do you find there's tangible benefits for your program when the men do well and vice versa for their program when you do well?
I do. There's a good relationship. I know a lot of our players are friends with the men's team, but what you'll see up on the turf is you'll see them knocking the ball around. You'll support each other in the games. And I think whenever there's a group of players who enjoy the sport, they can kind of build on their love of training and being successful. So it really is beneficial. And, even speaking to the men's coaching staff, we learn stuff from them all the time. So that sharing on both sides is pretty important. But I really love to watch the interaction of the players with the men's team and the support they give them.
Brian?
So were those goals a little unexpected? I mean, they're names that you expect to produce for your team, but to see what happened this past Friday, I'm sure you'd like to see that continue from the legs of various different players?
Grace Douglas has been kind of knocking on the door all season, even though she plays centrally in our back and is one of our, controls our back defenders. She's good on set pieces, and if you guys don't know anything about Grace Douglas, she's 6'1", so she's a little bit more imposing on set pieces, and I think there's probably been 4 or 5 games where she's been knocking on the door to score on a set piece, so it's been great for her to kind of figure out how to do it, and I think it's only going to get better from here for her. And Jordan McNeese has been interesting because we've had her in different positions, and at the middle of the season we decided to put her up front, and she's become pretty effective where she is, and I think it's also a position where she's become more relaxed. So to see her finish that goal, it was pretty exciting. And just kind of solidified my decision to move her up front and what she can contribute up there. And then for Allie Winfield, she works really hard. She's, one of these kids that her work rate in practice and everything that she does, you're just kind of happy that she gets that goal. So those three, the getting their first goals has been really exciting. And, it just even makes us more dangerous in different parts moving forward against South Carolina.
Todd?
When you move into the second round, the pressure builds up, I imagine, every step you take. But do you guys see this just kind of as an opportunity? Show who you are, show what kind of things this program can do?
I thought in the beginning of our Toledo game, the team was pretty tight. And we talked about, from experience-wise, we'd had a couple players who were in that situation before, but the majority of our team was a little bit newer to the NCAAs. And at halftime, I basically told them that they just needed to relax, that they had to do the things that got them there to be successful. This game now, I think we value being the underdog a little bit. We did this year against Virginia and against Penn State. And I think our team mentality is that, well, we've got nothing to lose, so we're going to throw it all out there. And it's fun to watch because they play a little bit more loose. And by doing that, I think it makes them actually a little bit better.
Todd?
How much do those experiences of getting a result on the road against really higher-ranked teams, how much does that play into what you're going to tell them this week and maybe draw upon that when it comes to game time?
It's huge because now there's a belief. that they can play against teams of that caliber. And even moving forward, not even this year, but moving next year, we graduate 2 seniors off our starting lineup. That just that understanding of what they need to bring in those games is, the level of intensity, the level of focus, the level of effort has just taught them that they can do it, and that every game is winnable. Everybody says this is the reason why you play games, right? And it's very true for this group. So they're excited for the next challenge. And, at the very beginning of the season, we told them that just trust the process. And they really have done that. And it's gotten to the situation where they get the opportunity to play one of the best teams in the country and show what they can do. We always say that pressure is a privilege. And they've earned that right now to be able to do that and get in games like this.
Brian?
We saw what a goalkeeper can do in a big game yesterday with Philip Schilling and, regulation and penalty kicks, and then him actually scoring on a penalty shot, which was amazing. But Caitlin Clem's had a heck of a career here. I'm sure everyone in your locker room on the field feels confident with her in the net when you go up against this team and however far you get in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely, and I think the biggest example you can use with Caitlin was last year against Florida. We were 12 minutes away from upsetting Florida. At that time was a #1 seed, and Caitlin did a fantastic job in performance. So we know she has the ability to do that, and the players know that also. So, going to the game, it's a little bit more confident knowing that you've had a goalkeeper who has that experience and who's had that type of performance in this type of environment. So, looking forward to it. And, the other part is it's, senior year. I think this is where seniors step up. I think Becca Harrison's been playing very well. I think Caitlin has been controlling the field and eliminating a lot of the problems that we've had. We've limited shots just with her communication and her focus. And that's all going to have to come together for us to get a result.